Hi guys, my name is Paras, the founder of Property Mates, and we are back for another episode of Behind the Mates, the Property Mates podcast. Today we are speaking to a very special person, PK Gupta from Consulting by PK. Hey PK, how are you doing today?
Hey, Faraz. Good, thanks. Looks like it's a sunny day where you are, so it's good to see.
Yeah, I hope it's the same in Brisbane, sunny.
A little bit overcast today, but well, I can live.
Okay. And PK, just a coincidence, I would say. My name is Paras Kumar, and my initials are also like sometimes I book it as a PK. I'm really excited to know what is your PK means, like what's your full form?
I get asked this all the time, and it's like it's just yeah, it's weird. Like I grew up in New Zealand in a small town called Napier. The population of that town was like 50,000, and we were the only like migrants into Napier, and no one could pronounce my legal first name, which is Pulkit, Pulkit. And two syllables, no one could pronounce it. So from like a very, very young age, it was always PK.
Okay. So Pulkit, yeah. Welcome, Pulkit, to Party Mates. Yeah, glad to know your known name. Okay, good story. So I must say we are really excited to have you here, and you have 300 plus five-star ratings in Google and Facebook. That's incredible, and also featured to a lot of news outlets. You bought like 12 homes in 11 years. That's impressive, amazing work, PK.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start. If you can please tell us something about yourself, consulting by PK, and what you do in general.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, within the property sphere, I suppose my mission is, like when someone is new to property investing, whether they're a migrant or they're like a local born and bred Australian, so to speak, there's like a lot of information out there and a lot of misinformation out there as well with regards to strategy, where to buy, what to buy, get rich soon, retire, passive income, all this, things that get bandied around. And I think like after a long time of content consumption, people kind of get to the conclusion that they can either continue consuming content free, like amazing podcasts like this one and YouTube, and there's 100 million places you can learn. They can continue down that path or they can use a buyer's agent, and both are legitimate, good strategies. The downside with the former is that people often lack confidence. It's like analysis paralysis, too much information, contradictory pieces of advice, and they need some professional help. Not everyone, like I always say, try to do it yourself if you can, but they sometimes need something. And then like if they do need something, there's like a big gap or divide between that and then using a buyer's agent. And there's some amazing buyer's agents out there as well who do a terrific job. But then the downside with that is that you're just depending on someone, and it can be a little bit expensive, right? Like let's say you have a desire to buy 5 properties. That's like, more than $50,000 or sometimes $100,000 just in fees. So like my whole mission was, and it's not a charity, but the whole mission was to put something in the middle, right? Something that's not going to cost so much, but you still get the professional mentoring, you still get the education, someone to hold your hand. So a mentoring sort of, space where the person or the new investor can rely on data, not just me, because everyone's fallible and everyone's a quote unquote expert, 25 million of them in Australia. So something in the middle where they can rely on data, have their hand held, and really get, learn how to fish as opposed to just be giving a fish. Different strokes for different folks. Some people should do it for free by themselves. Some people should use a buyer's agent if they have no time. And
Yeah.
then a lot of people do the middle. So that's kind of what I do in the middle.
Very good, very good. Yeah, and definitely I agree to your point where people at this time, especially at this time, need some education, proper guidance, and if they're new in the market or in the country. Yeah, well said, PK. Okay, moving forward, can you tell us how you can help people in their buying or selling journey?
Sure. So in terms of how I help, I mean it's a course and mentorship program that basically, I mean, the type of people who come and work with us, they sort of have similar themes. One theme they have is they want to be interstate investors. Like a lot of my clients are based in Sydney and Melbourne, and like property prices are a bit nuts in Sydney and Melbourne. They're just so much. Of course, they're kind of dropping now a little
Yeah.
bit, but they want to look elsewhere in Queensland and South Australia and WA and regional Australia to buy properties that are more affordable, under 500, under 400, under 600, under 700K,
Yeah.
with more of a growth and cash flow element. So, I mean, they're lacking confidence in buying remotely, buying interstate. So that's the first person that I sort of, one theme that is kind of, prevalent. Another theme is that they're into data. They look at someone like me and they're like, who are you? Like, I don't trust you. And I say that as well, don't trust me, but trust the data.
Trust that.
Oftentimes they're like into IT or engineers or banking or finance, or even if they're nurses or electricians or any other profession, they have like I think, like a lean, like a bias
Mm,
towards being data driven,
mm,
using objectivity as their analysis tool as opposed to someone's subjectivity. So that's like the other common theme. And then I think the last one is that they actually truly want to learn. There are
yeah.
two types of people in this world. One type of person is someone who wants to learn how to fish,
Mm,
and the other person just wants to be given a fish.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe I would say, I don't know if it's a fair statement. My clients are often less lazy, quote unquote. I
Hmm.
don't know if that's fair, but they're actually driven. They're passionate. All right. So the confluence of these sort of three themes kind of embodies my typical client. And through education and mentorship, not necessarily a lot of time, just
Yeah.
specific, structured, systematic education, they get the results that they want to.
Wow, yeah, that's good. And people who really want to learn all these things are something, yeah, they go dig deep into. But just like a common thing, like, do these type of people are more into investing or the first time home buyers or just buying home to just live?
Yeah, like I think it's predominantly investors. I always say, like a lot of people saying, PK, do you help with first home buyers? I say, look, if you don't care about the growth trajectory of your own home, like, it's
Mm,
an emotional decision, husband, wife need to make a decision together, they need to feel good about it. If you
mm,
don't care about the economics and future growth, then like honestly, what I do is probably a waste of money.
mm,
But if you want that home to grow in value so that in the future you can withdraw equity, or perhaps at some point when you change homes, you want it to be a good investment property as well, then that's where I help home buyers. So I would say less than 20% of my clients are
mm.
home buyers,
Oh,
majority investors. It's more about the mindset that they have.
got it, got it. Thank you, thank you. And what are your tips for people that are looking to buy or invest?
Yeah, so look, my number one tip would be, I mean, it's kind of like an obvious thing to get educated, but more specifically to understand data. Like when you're investing in property, there's so many things that get thrown around. For example, buy close to a CBD. Another one that gets thrown around is buy close to a train station. Another
Mm,
one is buy close to the water, like a beach or a river. Another one is buy close to a shopping center. And if you put all of these things together, then you're basically guaranteed to have to spend $1 million in a property,
mm. It's
and
crazy.
the yield or the cash flow will be so small that it'll cost you like $10,000 a year just to keep that property,
Mm,
pay the mortgage and everything. So like there's a lot of misinformation, and if you regress these elements that I've just spoken about against capital growth
mm,
over the last 35 years of property history, then you find that in some instances they're important, but actually there's no true correlation between proximity to the CBD and capital growth, proximity to a train station and capital growth, etc.,
mm,
etc. So this is a kind of long-winded way of saying, if you understand true data, things like days on market trends, stock on market percentages, job advertisement trends,
mm,
building approval, supply pipelines, then you can actually make more data driven. And I wouldn't say perfect, like a magic algorithm or anything,
mm.
but I would say more scientific decisions of where to buy and what to buy. And I'll probably just cap off that by saying that when you hear like me or someone else talk about data, oftentimes it goes over people's head. It's like, oh my God, like I'm not a data scientist. Like I just want to outsource this. You can, of course, outsource it to some people who are quite good, but it's not actually rocket science. You know, it's like you outsource surgery because 100% of people who need a, you know, heart transplant, they go to a surgeon. But more than 95% of people who invest in property, they don't go to a professional, they do it themselves because it's actually possible. It's just with an injection of a bit of data, a bit of knowledge, bit of where and how to buy, you can actually get amazing results.
And someone like you who can guide them how to read or analyze the data is something I think that will give the value to the users.
Yeah, just a bit of confidence. Like, you know, the data is self-proving. You can regress it in history. You can see, oh yeah, 2 years ago the suburb boomed and this was the data. This is why it boomed. But yeah, like just having someone to, I guess, bounce things off just helps with the confidence. Data is fantastic. You know, you can learn how to jump off a plane with a parachute on the ground, but when you're up there 30,000 feet, you're going to be a little bit scared, a little bit quivering. You just need someone to say, oh, like, just do it. You're all good. Just go for it. So that's kind of, what helps as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well said. Yeah. And lastly, do you have any special offers today or special discounts for all our users and audience today?
Oh, I'm so disappointed to say I don't, but what I do have is like, I don't sort of believe in discounts or specials or things like that, but I do believe in giving more than you get. So like on my YouTube channel, there are more than 400 completely free videos. And these aren't the kind of videos where I'm talking about myself and trying to sell you something. We talk about the economy day by day. We talk about different suburbs to invest in, which areas you should not invest in, tax structures. We talk about different strategies. So it's all free, right? Like there's so many people who just based on YouTube alone have gone on to get amazing results without paying me a cent. Same with my Facebook group, Australian Property Mastery with PK, more than 20,000 people there. So although it's not technically a special offer or anything, but like if you go to those platforms, like you'll be so well educated.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm sure those videos are very informative. I have been following you, so that's all the information I also get from you. What's happening, what are the trends? So thank you for that. And that was really awesome, PK. Thank you for your time. If you want to get in contact with PK and consulting by PK, just click the link below and he can definitely help. Before you go, show some love for your favorite podcast by leaving us a like or follow on our social media accounts. Thank you, PK.